to Nizzy Sports Chat. I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys are going to be breaking down last night's matchup between the Toronto Raptors and Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, the Raptors fall to the Mavericks by a final score of 102-98, dropping their record to 21-21 on the season. You guys back to 500 basketball. Mavericks improved to 26-19 on their season. Tough matchup for the Raptors in last night's game, you guys. Another close, hard-fought loss. Obviously, had the same thing happen to us against Miami on Monday. Nice, tight, close game that we just ended up not being able to pull out in the end. Same thing in the last night's matchup with the Mavericks. You guys were oh so close to the victory. Just ran out of juice late in the game there. Been running some really short rotations lately. Not really sure what the hell is going on with this Raptors bench, and why we're only running basically 7 players throughout the game right now. It's kind of strange what Nick Nurse is deciding to do with the rotations. We're going to talk a little bit about that in this video, you guys. But right real quick before we go ahead and start breaking down this matchup from last night, if you can go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Been getting a lot of support lately from you guys, man, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and start breaking down the rest of this game from last night. Like I said, you guys, Nick Nurse decided to run a 7-man rotation in last night's matchup against the Mavericks. This is the second game in a row that he's done that, playing the same 7 guys as he played against Miami. Not really sure why we're running such a short rotation. Personally, I think it's hurting us down the stretch in some of these games. You can see these guys are just losing some of their juice later on in the second half of these games, which is understandable when you got guys playing 40-plus minutes, on a nightly basis. Each and every game, it's just gonna eventually these guys are just gonna tire right out. I mean, even in the playoffs, you normally wouldn't even run a 7-man rotation. You'd at least run 8 or 9 guys for your playoff rotation. And then usually during the regular season, you'll run like a 9, 10, 11-man rotation there, try and get a full bench unit in. You know, you don't want to overwork your starters for 82 games during the regular season and have them completely burnt out for the playoff stretch. And it's just, I just don't understand what Nick Nurse is doing with this 7-man rotation shit. It's clearly not working because we're running out of gas in the second half of these games and not being able to pull out the victory. So I hope he switches it up, man. I know like the bench has not been very good for the Raptors this season. We've had some struggles, some up and down moments with the bench unit. But as of late, man, you can't even harp on the bench unit because they're not even getting out on the floor. So how the hell can they improve? How can they show you that they're looking better in a matchup? Giving our guys, our starting unit, a little bit of a break. All those things, man, I just don't understand it. I mean, these guys aren't even getting a couple minutes. At least get a guy in for 2-3 minutes, see if he's got some juice in his game for the evening. If he's playing well in those couple of minutes, maybe that guy can give you 10 or 12 or 15 minutes coming off the bench, in a game. But for some reason, they don't want to do that. I just find it really strange, man. I've never seen a team run 7 guys during the regular season back-to-back games. And you could just tell that our starters are just gassed by that mid-third, fourth quarter. I mean, even if you look at the point totals, I think we had over 30 points in the first quarter, and then it progressively got worse each quarter. I think we went down to 23 points in the second, and then those third and fourth quarters, we were only able to muster 22 points apiece. I think that has a lot to do with, like I said, just these guys are so gassed from having to play pretty much the entire game. You had OG Anunoby play 43 out of 48 minutes. Same with Pascal, 43 out of 48 minutes. So they're only sitting for 5 minutes the entire game. That's just insanity, man. Same with Fred VanVleet, 41 minutes on the night. Boucher coming off the bench had 33. Achua, your starting center, had 33. Barnes, they kind of had him on a little bit of a minute restriction with that knee, so he only played 28. And then Champagnie finished off with 16 minutes. So you pretty much only damn near ran a 6-man rotation. Champagnie didn't play a lot either. He only played 16 minutes in this game. So you pretty much ran a 6-man rotation and then sprinkled in Champagnie when you could here and there. Just like I said, I really don't understand Nick Nurse's thought process on this whole situation. It seems like he's just being stubborn and doesn't want to give these guys a chance because maybe they had some bad games prior to these last couple here. But I think we're going to need our bench unit to be able to play some minutes, man, if we're going to want to have a chance going forward. Like I said, you're just going to have your starting lineup absolutely gassed by the end of the season if you don't, expand that bench a little bit and have at least 8 or 9 guys. Obviously, we're missing Gary Trent Jr. and Khem Birch right now. So obviously that 7-man rotation would probably be a 9-man rotation if those 2 guys were available to play in the last couple of games. But nonetheless, man, I don't understand why we're not giving Delano Banton any minutes. He should be getting some time out on the floor. Svi, I know Svi hasn't performed great, but All it takes is one good game from the guy to start getting him on a bit of a hot streak. He hasn't been getting any minutes out there. I know Yuta had a couple rough games, and then he's just been completely benched since that. I'm all for some second chances here, man. I understand these guys may have, bad stretches of basketball or play some bad games here or there. But it is a team sport at the end of the day. You're going to need more than 6 or 7 guys showing up on a nightly basis to be able to win some games here. So I think Nick Nurse is going to have to put his stubbornness aside a little bit, you guys. And give some of these guys another chance, man. Whatever, give them a couple minutes out on the floor if they look like dog water. Fucking put them back on the bench. That's totally fine. But to not even give them an opportunity to go out there and show you something that they might be, on a hot streak or get into a rhythm out on the floor and have a good game for you. They're not even getting that opportunity. Like I said, which just boggles my mind. It would be different maybe if we were blowing out these teams and getting big time wins against these teams. You could understand maybe Nick Nurse's thought process with the rotations a little bit more. But the fact that we're losing these close games, and it seems to be the reason that why we're losing is because we just don't have our legs under us to make some of those shots at the key situations in the late parts of the game there. And like I said, I think that's just due to fatigue from these guys being overworked out there. I'm all for if you guys want to play them like 35 minutes, 37 minutes per game. But these, you had 3 guys on your team, all 40 plus minutes is just insanity, man. I think they need to be dialed back a little bit here. And like I said, I think their production and their efficiency while being on the floor will be a lot better for this squad. So, and you can even go ahead and look at it with some of the team stats, you guys. Like we had 91 shots as a team. We only shot 38% field goal percentage, 35 of 91. And the Mavericks ended up shooting 37 to 76 for a 48% clip. So we shot 15 more shots than they did from the field, and we still missed 2 more shots than them. We only made 35. They made 2 more buckets than us, and they had 15 less shots. So that just goes to show you how much more efficient they were. And like I said, I just think in that second half we didn't have our legs under us enough to be able to bang down some of those jump shots. And I think that's what cost us in the field goal percentage in this game, you guys. Same with the 3-point range. We only shot 25% as a team from 3, 8 of 32, which is atrocious. They didn't do much better from 3-point land. They shot 9 of 33 for 27% clip. The free throw shooting was a little bit better for the Raptors in this game, 20 of 25 from the line, 80% free throw percentage. 95% for the Mavs, shooting 19 of 20 from the free throw line. They out-rebounded us by 1 board. We got 44 in the game. They had 45. And then we did, like I said, a nice job on the offensive board, 16 offensive boards comparatively to their 10. So did a nice job in that aspect. But like I said, you guys, we had 15 more shots than these guys. Didn't capitalize, didn't take advantage of that. And like I said, I got a feeling that's a lot to do with the fatigue of your main unit, not really getting a lot of rest throughout the game. Because when you have 15 more shots than the team and you make 2 less shots than them, that can't happen, man. You guys know this as well. Like, we should be winning these games when you're getting 15, 20 more shots than the other team and you're still losing the game. That's got to be some sort of fatigue going on with the shot making ability down the stretch in some of these games. So right real quick before we finish off the video as well, you guys, we'll go through some of the player stats real quick here. We'll start off with the Dallas Mavericks. Porzingis had a decent night, 18.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal for you. Brunson had a bit of a quiet night, only 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal. Doncic was outstanding in this game, you guys. Was hitting buckets from everywhere. Just a phenomenal performance from him all around. I think this was his highest point totals for the season with his 41-point performance. 14 rebounds to add to that, as well as 7 assists and 1 steal. So just an outstanding performance from him in this game. Probably the biggest reason they were able to pull out the victory against the Raptors in this one. Dwight Finney-Smith had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal as well for him. And then Hardaway off the bench had 16 points, 2 boards, and 1 assist as well. So you got some good production from some of your role players surrounding Doncic there. And then obviously when a guy's dropping 41 and 14 on you, there's a good chance they're going to be able to win that game. So, like I said, they just did a lot better job than we did in the second half there, being able to close it out. And Doncic got hot from the 3-point range as well. Over to the Raptors side for some of the point player stats, you guys. Achua finished with 12 points and 5 boards, 5 of 10 from the field. He had 33 minutes on the night. Scotty Barnes, bit of a quiet night, 11 points, 5 boards, 1 steal, and 1 block. He shot 4 of 9 from the field in his 28 minutes on the floor. 43 minutes for OG, just insanity. 19 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals. Shot 8 of 16 from the field. So his efficiency didn't go down that much. Had a couple key turnovers in that game, though. That cost us a little bit there, but the 43 minutes is just crazy to me. Same with Pascal, finished off with 43 minutes last night as well. You guys finished with 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Shot 7 of 18 from the field, so a little bit below 50%. Freddie had a really rough shooting night, 4 of 20 from the field last night, cost us a little bit in that one. 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 12 assists. So did a great job in the assist department, but a real rough shooting percentage for the guy with 4 of 20 from the field. Definitely cost us a little bit there. He was just hucking up 3 balls from everywhere. Unfortunately, they just weren't dropping at as high of a clip tonight for the guy. But like I said, it would have been nice with 3 guys playing 40-plus minutes to get maybe another point guard off the bench to see if they could spark us with a few buckets. Even if it was only for 3 or 4 minutes throughout the game, but we never really gave anybody a chance other than Boucher and Champagny coming off the bench there. Boucher had a decent performance in his 30 minutes, guys. 15 points, 12 boards, 3 steals as well. Shot 6 of 14 from the field, so just shy of that 50% mark. Champagny shot 1 of 4 from the field. Bit of a quiet night in his 16 minutes, only had 1 3-pointer, as well as 4 rebounds and 1 steal as well on the game. So he's been pretty solid for us coming off the bench. But like I said, we're just going to need some more bench guys to be able to play some pivotal minutes in these upcoming matchups, you guys. I think if we continue this stretch of only running 6 or 7-man rotations, I think it's definitely going to hurt the Raptors in the long run. You're going to be risking injury as well to some of these guys, just overworking them, in my opinion. I'm all for if you want to play 33 to 35 minutes, have your top guys in that 33 to 35 minute range, but playing 40-plus minutes a night is just ridiculous, in my opinion. I could see that happening if it's a playoff game. It makes sense to me to run maybe a smaller rotation in a playoff series. If you got, your bench unit's just been struggling and you don't want to risk it when, everything's on the line. You may not be able to play another game after the one coming up when it's do or die in the playoff time. It makes sense to have those guys playing around that 40-minute mark. But we're just reaching the halfway point of the season right now. And it hasn't translated to winning basketball either. So that's the one thing that I would say, you guys, if it had translated to some winning basketball the last couple of games, there's no problem running this 7-man rotation. But the fact that it's not translating to wins, and you can tell the guys are getting gassed in the second half. I think Nick Nurse got to put his stubbornness aside, like I said earlier in the video, you guys, and he's got to make some adjustments on the fly here and get some fresh legs in there, get some action going on for those guys. And you never know when one of those guys goes off for a game, steps up, and then all of a sudden he gets onto a hot streak. So we'll have to see what happens moving forward. We got the Wizards on Friday. Hopefully we can take that one, you guys. They've been kind of up and down all season. They looked real good to start the season. Now they've kind of been in shambles the last month and a half or so. So this should be a good opportunity for the Raptors to get back on track, get back above 500 on Friday against the Wizards. So fingers crossed we can pull out the victory there. Tough loss against the Mavericks, you guys. I'll commend the boys. Good fight in this game. We'll just have to get ready for Friday and see what happens with Nick Nurse and those rotations and see how this team performs moving forward. So that pretty well wraps it up for this video, you guys. Would love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. How do you think the Raptors fared in the last night's game? And I would like to get your guys' opinion as well on Nick Nurse's rotations, and what do you guys think of the 7-man rotation? You think it's just putting too much pressure on our top unit and fatiguing them as too much, or you think it's a good idea, as we don't have a lot of bench players that can step up for us right now? Would love your guys' opinion on that in the comment section down below. Once again, you guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and every video on my channel. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and this is Nizzy with Nizzy Sports.